my ninjas and ninjas, it's Peabutnutterninja, and we are looking at Smite patch notes version 0.1.1349. And guys, the biggest thing added to this patch is Neith, the Weaver of Fate. She is a very strong ranged AD. If you guys haven't seen her or gotten a chance to play her, you should check out my videos below where I get to play Neith in Conquest, in Practice, and in Domination. In fact, I'll be posting these patch notes to some Neith Domination gameplay, and she is so strong. She's capable of sniping people across the map without even them knowing, and she just does so much damage, especially with her root. Her root is ridiculous because that just allows people to be sitting ducks for her arrows, and at endgame, Neith's arrows do so much damage. But I won't be going over her skills in depth in this patch notes. You can check out my practice and skills video, or my skills and build video rather, with Neith in order to find out exactly how strong her attacks really can be. So guys, let's start off with some skins, new skins. There's an epic Alquang skin, there's a Loverboy Cupid skin, and there's a crappy Neith alt skin. Of course, we need just the recoloring, but the Alquang and Loverboy Cupid, if you do like playing those two gods, you should definitely check those two out. And let's go over some general stuff. TV section is finally added for Smite, so if you're bored of playing, if you're bored of getting killed by your teammates, you know, by having a feeder or lever in your games, and you're just frustrated and you just want to watch some high elo play, you can just check out that TV tab, and it's going to be a lot of the streamers, a lot of high tier streamers that are going to be on that high res forum, that high res stream. So it's very, very solid, very, very fun, so definitely check that out. Let's see what else. They added additional options for challenge matches for tourney play, where you can pick your region, you can choose your god pick mode, your starting level, starting gold, and you can also change the pick order by party order instead of ranking. So before, you would have to draft in according to your ranking, and that usually left for, you know, people being a little bit bitter, or you know, they would just choose really bad things at the very end because you usually have your lowest elo players. But now you can change the way that you draft, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to remain pretty similar, with the highest or best players choosing first, and then the worst or support players choosing last. Although the best players, they do choose tanks first most of the time, so that the bottom players can play with those tanks, and they end up trading and swapping. But that's all for another video. So now a popular tab has been added, little stars in game next to the items based on the top 200 Smite players using or buying the item in the last 7 days. So if they buy that pretty consistently, you'll have a little star there just to give new players a chance to see what builds really work, or what builds the top elo players are playing. So very, very solid. I like that. They added a solo arena practice, so if you're tired of beating Raw in solo practice, you can now do solo arena practice with Artemis, Raw, and Ymir. It's a 3 versus 3, and it looks like Manticore's getting the hard shove out. I really, really miss him. I hope he comes back as God or something, but as for now, he's just getting the hard boot. And so arena change in the last 10 points, more emphasis on god kills rather than minion kills. So gladiators, the big minions, will still deduct points, but not the small fries. So you're gonna have to kill at least 2 gods for the last 10 points to kind of make it a very clutch game type of arena, and that'll be more exciting, I believe. And minions, they now react to auto attacks. They stagger and they don't attack when they get hit with the auto attack. So I don't really see why they needed this change. This actually makes the minions a lot less painful, but it's kind of cool to see. I'd rather have it not removed. I'd rather have it removed, just because those minions should be doing a lot of damage if you're standing in there, and that stagger effect, I don't know. It just really kind of simplifies it, I guess, makes it less DPS for the minions, and I don't know if I really like that. Silence and stuns on your god will X out the ability bar with red X's, so you know that you can't cast, and it's just a much better interface, so you know what's going on in the match. Tooltips in match lobbies on the gods, you just click on them or mouse over them, and you'll get some tooltips on each god. Map pinging is fixed. You can no longer ping in outer space and the world beyond the battlefield. You can only ping inside your own little world, so a very good fix, I agree. And tower kills and healing points now added to the end of match screen. Out of match notifier volume can be adjusted. This is what I was calling for a long time ago, because that huge rock sound dropping and the invite queue dropping, it was just so loud. I would be doing work, then all of a sudden I hear this, like this huge like crash. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And why are people inviting me? Then I'd have to either go do not disturb or just log off if I was doing work and not playing Smite. So my ears get saved with this change. In-game chat is fixed a bit, so allows easier replying to different groups of people. So very cool. There's a lot of spectator changes again, so I'll be skipping most of these since these only really affect moderators and administrators of tournaments. You can watch certain replays of challenge matches and ranked games, but otherwise most games won't be recorded, and you can check out these games under the TV tab, and I also believe that you can also use the /replay function on some of the, if you have the match ID of the challenge matches and so on. So very, very cool stuff. I'm really excited, looking forward to spectator mode. And so now let's get a little bit more into the gameplay, the gods and the items. So the jungle camps, their starting health is reduced by 10% for all camps, and escalation on the Gold Furies is reduced, which means that they won't have like 3,000 HP when you're 20 minutes in. So it's going to be a little bit less, and they're going to be still quite squishy for you as you go around and kill them. So going to be very, very solid, and I really like the adjustment from that. As for items, focus is removed from all items. I personally like focus because it reduced overall stun time. I still believe stuns and Smite are among the most powerful skills and will continue to be so, especially with these changes, and that stuns really needed a nerf. But with the removal of focus, stuns are going to be king again, and this means that tanks with stuns and anybody else who can kind of stun or root or even silence in I guess Hades can, are gonna be very, very strong. Once you get that stun, you're almost guaranteed to win, especially if you stun that squishy. So it's you know, Ymir can just run across the enemy lines, run right past the front tanks depending on who they are, and then just freeze, you know, your Anhir or freeze your Neith and then kill her. And with that, it's pretty strong. So with that change implemented, most of these gods will have their focus changes. So this means that gods will generally have longer stuns, greater slows, greater movement speed bonuses, all without focus. And before the tank gods would be really strong with the focus, you would have stuns with Ymir up to 3 seconds long, and that's, personally for me, that's unheard of. No other god in game has a 3-second stun. Plus, Ymir does damage with his stun, and that is just so strong. I can't believe that they even implemented that. I don't think Ymir should be doing damage with his stun if it's going to be over 2 seconds long. Look at Anubis. Imagine if you gave his Mummify a damage buff, maybe a 200 damage hit on top of that. That is just too much, I believe. So I still think they should kind of limit their stuns to be less than 2 seconds. Even a 1 second stun is very imba if you use it correctly in the right setting with your team. But imagine 2 second stuns. You can make so many mistakes and still come out on top as long as you know you kind of stagger your stun even with that overlap. So I'm not going to be talking about the personal changes to each god, because almost every god got changed because of the focus removal. So that meant, you know, for Anhir, that means he gets a higher slow on his obelisk, his pillar, and he gets a higher stun on his impale, and so on. Anubis, higher stun, Ao Quang, set slow and higher movement speed, and so very solid. But I won't be talking about that. You can definitely check out the patch notes to see all the individual changes for the gods. I'll be posting it down below in the description. So guys, if you click that down arrow, you can see that. You can click on the link, and then you can see exactly what god changes. Especially just check out the gods that you really play, or the gods that you really play against. But again, most of the changes are, again, higher slows, higher stuns or longer stuns, and higher movement speed boosts. The only god that really got nerfed, I think Bacchus got nerfed a little bit from the focus changes, and I also believe that Ymir got nerfed a little bit because his max stun is now only 2.25 seconds instead of 3 seconds. So I still think they should remove the damage on that. That's just ridiculous. But pretty good. Most of it is pretty supportive to everyone else except the tanks. But again, the tanks are still very solid. Tanks in game are OP. They are very strong. It takes you 1 item to be a tank in Smite, and it takes you maybe about 3 or 4 items to break that tankiness if you're an AD or an AP carrier or an AP damager. So Very, very solid. And some of the other god changes that don't revolve around focus. So Hell gets another nerf slash buff, and I think this was intended to be a buff, but it might end up being a nerf. So magical contribution goes up on all her skills. Her switch stance cooldown is back down to 2 seconds from 4 seconds. So these are the buffs. But the nerf comes where alternative abilities incur a half cooldown cost when the original ability is used. So let's say since Hell has that double stance thing, so let's say you cast a cleanse, then her repulse, oh no, it is I forgot what that skill is called, but the other's opposite skill, inspire and restoration, like those are, I don't know, actually I forgot what the skills were called, but either way you incur a half cost, and her cooldowns right now I think are sitting at 12 seconds each, so it's pretty long, and that's gonna really slow her casting. But again, you can really utilize that anyways. She is very capable of DPS. She's not OP as she was before, but I think she's pretty balanced in terms of now. I've seen some pretty solid Hell games where she, contributed a lot of healing and contributed a lot of damage in team fights. So very solid still, but nowhere near the OP-ness that she was before all these changes. Let's see what else. Hercules gets another nerf. Earthbreaker now only goes 40 feet instead of 55 feet, so you have to be much closer to trigger that jump back or that toss back. And Sobek gets a nerf as well. Sickening Strike now heals off 3 enemies instead of all enemies hit with it. And Vulcan gets a fixed. He doesn't really, his skills don't get changed, but his description for his skills get changed. So far, everything looks pretty good. I hope you're enjoying Neith. She is one of my favorite AD carries. I am interested to see what type of nerf she's going to get, but I'm pretty sure that she is going to get some type of nerf, either in greater cooldown reductions or cooldown increases rather, or she's going to get damage reduction, but that doesn't seem fair to really get a damage reduction, but we'll see how that works out. But guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of this Neith Domination gameplay. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. I hope you're spending it with the ones that you love. And if you don't have anyone special in your life to spend with, then you can at least spend it with Neith. She is a lonely goddess, and she is very entertaining, and I'm sure she'll keep you very good company because she is not wearing very much in this last patch. In fact, I think she's wearing even less than Bastet, and I didn't think that would be possible. Maybe even less than Kelly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to compare these in a video one day. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this informational, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, peace, love, and ninja. Peabutnutterninja signing out. Bye-bye, guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
Your team has captured the left obelisk. Has been slain. An ally has been slain.
That's far enough.
You have slain an enemy. Your team has lost. The middle obelisk has been slain. Your team has captured the right obelisk. Be right back. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
That's far enough.
Your team has lost the right obelisk. Your team has captured the middle obelisk. You have slain an enemy. Double kill. Be right back. An ally has been slain.
Beware the punching sound.
Your team has captured the right obelisk. Your team has lost the middle obelisk.
Watch your step.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Help middle lane. Help left lane. On my way.
The world is no barrier to me.
The heat bears down upon you. An ally has been slain. Be right back. Your team has lost the right obelisk. An enemy has been
That's
slain.
far enough.
The middle obelisk. Your team has lost the right obelisk. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. I'll attack left lane. An ally has been slain.
Sands
Slain an enemy. Your team has captured the left obelisk. Your team has lost the middle obelisk. I'll defend left lane.